Hello, this is Cody Carlson doing Module 5, Understanding My Community. My community is Great Bend, Kansas, USD 428. Knowing the customs and traditions. First thing about Great Bend, it's a blue-collar, hardworking community. I would say the education priority from parents' standpoint is probably below average. A lot of our families didn't necessarily make it too far in education, and it kind of shows as they raise their children. Most students actually work for their families because of our high poverty, so they see their kids going to work at their restaurant way more important than them actually being at school. The community support for athletics is tremendous here. Everybody kind of rallies. It's quite a large town, 15,000 people, but it's got that small town feel. Everybody rallies around their athletics. Most people never leave Great Bend, or if they do, they come back right after college and raise their family here or whatever. Also, it helps that Barton County Community College is there too, and there's a huge discount for the high school students of Great Bend to go to Barton County for almost free with the correct grades. Mostly, it's a farming, hunting, homemade entertainment, socializing in people's houses for entertainment wise, and they're just traditions. It's very close knit, and people travel to like Hayes or Wichita or Manhattan for luxury. That's their far trips. Knowing the population: 52% male, female, 48% male, 74% white, 21% Hispanic. Kind of split three ways: religion wise, 33% Catholic, 32% Protestant, and then 31% none. And then there's some sprinkled other affiliates in there too to make 100. Education: 84% have a high school degree, but then only 17 have a bachelor's degree. But because of the Barton County 2-year deal, Great Bend is above national average with associate's degree. I found that interesting. And then 5.6 with a graduate degree. Hope to improve that a little bit when I finish these last two classes. And then we are 16% non-English language Spanish speakers. That we'll get into that later. Most common occupations is construction, assembly lines, maintenance, repair men for the males, and then females office support, and sales related occupations. Communication channels: we have 2 newspapers. They kind of work together, the Great Bend Post and then the Great Bend Tribune. They do a pretty good job, but they actually cover more than just Great Bend. Hoisington and like Claflin, that area as well. Most popular radio station is 104.3. The Point, that's our radio guy, Patrick Burnett, right down there. He is the voice of the Panthers, so he goes to all the high school games, all the athletics, and broadcast those, because when we travel to Liberal, not very many fans go, but they listen to it on the radio. All of our local TV channels, ABC, CBS, are all through Wichita. And then it was a huge push from the district a couple years ago that each building has like a Facebook page. Athletics have their Twitter pages, getting into the social media deal. Knowing community groups, there's a lot. I would say for elementary and just younger students, there's a lot of stuff for them to be involved in. Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. Little League athletics is huge here. The huge baseball teams, WKFL, basketball, Little Leagues, all sorts of things that they're involved in. A lot of religious-based groups as well. And then the community groups, it's not segregated, but like most of the racial population is kind of geographically together, just based off income and where they live. So those are your community groups that kind of split by elementary school as well. You can kind of tell where students are from the elementary school they went to. Influence on curriculum: the Barton County Community College program. A lot of our students, higher level students, are going to go to college. They take a lot of college credits in high school from Barton County. And then the other side would be the students that are just going to go into VOTEC or into the workforce right away. We work really well with like the co-op and the FFA and just our rural area of having all of our VOTEC stuff, our shop, our metal work, our FFA, all that stuff is our other priority. So we have two ends of the spectrum to meet both demands. And then school politics, school board clickiness a little bit, it all stays in the same circle. And then, as we mentioned earlier, the townies, no one really leaves. So they kind of try and keep the standard and resist change of going, well, this is what I learned in elementary school, so this is what my kids should learn. Knowing leadership, influencing agents. A lot of our companies are run by the same people. So like one person runs a lot of businesses here, and that kind of goes on for a whole group of people. So Moneyball, big name companies are running the show here. Then there's city council and the school board members. All three of those are the ones that I could think of. Person's influence, I'd say the general public. It's kind of majority rules. Everybody goes with the flow. There's really hasn't been a split, huge debate or anything where everybody's fighting. Everybody just kind of goes with it. Whoever's in charge leads, and nobody else really rocks the boat. There are different opinions, but that seems to be everywhere. Of just people just putting anything and everything on their Facebook posts, social medias. You can complain about anything and throw any facts or lack thereof on there, and it'll be deemed true. Knowing community leaders' characteristics, handling current situations. Like we said, with the Moneyball, the big name companies, they're more behind the scenes. They're not the faces of the leadership groups at all. They don't draw a lot of attention to their power. I actually had to have conversations with people, since this is my only third year living here. I didn't necessarily know who was kind of our leaderships, but once they told me, it made a lot of sense. But you don't really notice. The school board members are 7 members. It's 5-year terms, and then half of the members, so 4 of the members, are changed every 4 years. So there's new faces in there, trying to rotate people in. And then they're very involved in the community. They're people that you see at the grocery store with their kids, at Little League, at church. They're very approachable. They understand their role in the community. And then, as I said earlier with the public opinion, it's basically whoever screams the loudest is heard on old Facebook. So there's a lot of more just stuff out there than true facts. And it's kind of ran rampant in Old Great Bend. Knowing economic conditions, based off our location, we are the main center for area towns and community. Claflin, Hoyleton, all those places. We have the Walmart, we have the Sutherlands, we have the Dillons, all of that stuff. They come here for their groceries every week. We have multiple amounts of restaurants, fast food, and sit down. A lot of economic places for our students and for low-class people to work. We have an airport, and the courthouse is here. We're kind of the county center, as I said. Economically, our feedlots, our oil fields, our co-op, they all are big money for us. And then we have the Cheyenne Bottoms as well. That's wildlife refuge and hunting. And then we have a large downtown square, a lot of mom and pop stores, but it's been stable for quite a while. There's usually a lot of turnover in other places, but these stores have been here for a while. The median household income is a little over 42,000, so that's way below the state average. Knowing political structure, I again had to ask a lot about this. I don't get too involved in politics, but general opinion is basically to keep taxes low, but they also support the improvements of the town and community. They understand that it's a base need. Our property tax is 11.5%. The mill levy is 12%. That's 120 mills per $1,000. And then we have a city sales tax as well. 0.5% split 3 ways for capital improvements, economic development incentives, and property tax relief. And then 1/4% will go towards state or street replacements, repairs, and maintenance. And then our state aid is a little over $2 million for special education program, because we take all of the area kids. And then we have a general state revenue of $23 million and a general local revenue of $3.6 million. Knowing social tensions, interaction, confrontations, based off of our geographic split, I guess you would say, it's starting to close. Whites and Hispanics are starting to be more neighbors, and it's both ways of trying to move and better themselves. We are 60% white and 37% Hispanic, but there's not any real racial tension in the school or in the town. We did have a gang called the 13s. It was a Hispanic gang, but all of those brothers and cousins, I wouldn't say graduated, but they dropped out in the last couple of years, so that's kind of gone away. But we still deal with drug-related altercations. We have our drug dealers in school, out of school, drug dealers trying to come in school and make deals. There's some turf wars or some beef every once in a while. One group of kids steals some money or some drugs from another group of kids, and that works its way into the school. But it hasn't been too bad. Makes it interesting every once in a while, a little entertainment. And then cliques, like I said, based off the elementary alumni status, wherever your house is in that geographic region of Great Bend, you kind of know those are your friends and that's who you hang out with. And mostly it's just the socioeconomic difference that's where the cliques are. Actually, sources of information. I had a lot of resources I was able to look at. Our USD 428 website's great for information. Great Bend and Barton County both have a lot of tax and political information on theirs, and then the KSD for school records as well. The power structure, like I said, businesses with money. They have all their relations with all the boards. They're kind of the puppets behind the scenes, but they've controlled for so long that it's not stopping. Until there's a death or someone retires, I doubt anybody else will be in control. There's been some rumors of corruption. We had a huge political split last year with a sheriff trying to dig up some dirt, but they fired him. So, knowing multicultural issues, based off the heavy Christian faith, we do get Good Friday and Easter and Christmas are all observed in the school, but MLK Day is not. So it's kind of different of what days are observed at the school and what days are not. There are alternative options during Lent. At lunch, they offer fish, and just based off the heavy Christian crowd that we have. And then for the large Hispanic population, most of the notes that we send home from school are written in English and Spanish. We have a lot of translator at school functions and parent-teacher conferences and all that, so we're able to help them. No power structure. School board works closely with superintendent and assistant soup. Building principals answer to the superintendent and assistant, and then the teachers answer to the principals. It's your basic hierarchy. Decisions are made with the idea of what is best for the students. I truly believe that everybody on that hierarchy is looking for what's best for students. The district sends out surveys to us teachers on impactful decisions to see where we stand. Just the other day, they had an idea of extending the school day, and they put it all out in the plan and sent us a survey. And basically, do you agree with this? Why not? What do you see the issues? What do you think the positives? And I really do think that they look at that. Measuring public opinion. We send out alumni surveys to students 2 years after they graduate high school, asking if we prepare them for college or their workforce or whatever. What could Great Bend High School do better to improve their chances for being successful outside of school? The school board is very visible. Like I said, they create relations throughout the community, and they hear and reach for feedback. And then our school board meetings are public. Parents and citizens can attend, and the minutes are posted online. Public opinion survey, multiple amounts of surveys to parents and teachers. We're always looking at the high school trying to improve our open house and parent-teacher conferences. So when we have them there, we try and give them surveys, just quick ones, to pick their brain to see how we can improve and just get public opinion on that. Individual conversations, our PTO and Booster Club parents are very well popular, and they go out and talk to other parents and kind of are the voices of those people. And then, like we've talked about, social media and Facebook, if you don't really need to ask a lot of people, they'll come out and tell you their opinion. It's usually just complaining, but they'll tell you. If you don't want to hear it, they'll still tell you. This was a great module. I learned a lot about my community that I had not learned about before, and I learned a lot about your guys' watching your videos as well. Have a good day.